the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka that Tellest guy. I'm inching ever closer to the computer in a way that makes sure that I don't roll over my doggy's ear. She's laying on the floor like a lump because it's super hot. It's just the kind of day that we're having. So I'm downstairs once again. We are back in the jungle for our, I want to say this is our 5th map in the series. So we're almost at a full 2x3. We've got one other zone that is pretty close to that, and that is the forest, which started it all. Let's get to work on this a little bit. I think we're going to work on the cliffs in just a moment, but we'll start with the with maybe like putting some trees and stuff like that in place. This is not very jungly, but what we'll do is kind of move forward with the kind of stuff that we have. It's more swampy, but I guess we're calling it a jungle. Let's go into the jungle set just to make sure there's not any fun trees that we can use. I feel like it takes you a little bit further out of it to have that kind of stuff. Everything's taking a long time today. Yeah, I mean, we got like palm trees and cacao trees and stuff like that, but I think what we'll do is just stick to what we already have and then just kind of expand from there. So let's grab one of these trees here. It's the only tree that we have in the previous map. And let's go to one of the other guys that they had. We'll throw a few more trees together in this area. And what we'll do is we'll cover up some of the gray spots. Well, not gray, but the dry spots, because this jungly area really shouldn't be all that dry and washed out and everything. I specifically want some trees over here because we're going to do something fun with them. Since we're going to have the Kaltori that we mentioned earlier, we're going to, that'll be enough tree coverage for now, considering there's not a lot of trees in most of the other areas that we see over here in this side of the jungle. Let's see. So we're going to go to our brush layers, and we're going to find some gray stuff that we can use. So we've got this gray ground. Now I'm debating whether or not to make this the texture scale to 30, because that's typically what we do in most of our other maps. But because the grass layer... Is that like thunder? Is that what's happening? Just little bits of heat thunder, and it keeps on dogging the dogs? I think this is... Oh yes, severe thunderstorm. So this is our...
The temperature's going to drop real good.
The temperature's going to drop real good. You see, we got a little bit of a talking telescope. Because you and I are chatting. I am. So what we're going to actually do is we'll keep things to the 30, I think. Let's do one more pass with everything and see what it looks like. It looks a little bit more stony, so we'll keep it like that. But we're going to do a couple of smaller transparency passes. We'll do 2 30%. And let's do... Those trees up there are going to be okay. But everything in there is going to be... We're going to change things a little bit. We're going to desaturate them and make them look like even the leaves have turned to stone. And then what we'll do is we'll throw some cracked ground into place as well. And then we'll make it look a little bit different. The key to making it look nice and smooth is you don't let go of the mouse button until you're done with everything that you have to be. So that's one pass right there. Let's do another pass. We'll do it a little less far so that it kind of blends a little bit. Yep, I certainly hear that heat thunder. How's Zelda doing? Nervous blinkies from the Zelda. It sounds right up her alley. Okay, and then let's do a little bit more in the brown spots. So anywhere that it was especially dry, we'll have another couple of passes. Don't go too crazy there because, well, we kind of have to a little bit because we imagine that down there is going to be an extension of this stuff. I just went too far with those ones, though. Okay, we're going to go off that side a little bit. And let's go and get our cracked ground. So we're going to go and do it from the dungeon set here. So this is a nice alpha layer that we can use. And we'll start off with the 100. And then if we need to dial it back, we'll do that too. These alpha layers are even tougher to see some of these cracks sometimes. So we'll do another pass. Let's dial it back, change the texture scale to about 50%. And we'll do some more in this area. A little bit up here too. And then one of the big changes that we need to make is the trees. They need to be a little bit different. So let's change the advanced settings for these. I'm going to make it a little bit blue first. Look like those iron trees that we had before. Something like that. And then we're going to desaturate these a lot. Leave them to about 15%. 159 and what you doing there, man? 15 and 159 and 15. All right. So the reason that we're doing it like that is because the Kaltori that we've mentioned down here is actually they're kind of like Gorgons. I think D&D has them as Gorgons. I think that I've seen them in Castlevania as Gorgons, but they're basically like our magic bull creatures. So I thought that this was in the right place, but evidently I was wrong. So we have a couple of Kaltori that we introduced in Merge Dungeon. They're basically like magic bulls. They're sentient creatures that are made of like synthetic metal and stuff like that. So we've got a couple different varieties of them in the Tellest universe. Bringing a couple of these pictures over. So we looked at the bronze one. This is the cobalt one. Bronze one breathes out fire. The cobalt one breathes out poison. The titanium one that I'm going to show you here, it's rumored that it breathes out something that, like, if it gets in your lungs, it's instant death, but that can't be substantiated. But the one that we're really showing off is the Obsidian Kaltari, which you'll see here. Get out of here, OneDrive message. So the Obsidian Kaltari basically has the ability to, if something breathes in the fumes that come out of it, they'll turn to stone. And as you can see in our map, we've got this area slowly starting to kind of turn to stone. Let's do another pass with the gray ground real quick. And we'll kind of fill in some of those spots a little bit more. The cracks will look a little bit more. Well, you know what? We'll do the cracks again too. Yeah, like how super green everything still looked. Let's do another couple of passes here in like this streak. And I actually do want more of the cracked ground. Do a couple of passes so that we can see some actual alpha cracks there, and then let's do one more little guy here. I can hear Zelda panicking in the other room. She's very good at it. Oh, you okay, Zelda? All right. We have got a Quantum Quest game that we are playing tomorrow. So we're at 66 changes. Let me hit save, and then let's go and check out a little bit of QQ. Now that our Twitch channel has reached affiliate status, we can start to do some really cool things. One of them is inviting you to play our tabletop dungeon diving game, Quantum Quest. Using our channel points, called Quest Coins, you can queue up for one of our forthcoming Tabletop Thursday games. In addition, as we amass more followers, we'll continue to add new ways for you to use your Quest Coins. Join us and see if you can escape the living dungeon. So as I mentioned, we do have a game of Quantum Quest that we will be playing tomorrow. It's going to be 3 new players at least, and I'll make up the 4th one if we need to. Or Rihanna, if you want, you could play and maybe see. Or excuse me, it's not tomorrow; it's Thursday. But you didn't get a single chamber that one game, so maybe do you want to try again and see if you can get a chamber, or should I play? Shoot me a boo-boo lip and going, I can do this. So she didn't get to play. She got to play. She didn't get to do anything successful.
However, if I immediately die, I will throw a temper tantrum.
If it happens the second time and you don't get a single chamber or anything?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you there. All right, so we've got the Kaltori kind of zone of this map figured out. The next thing that we need to do is figure out the corpse in the tree thing. Let's get rid of the text because we don't really need this text here anymore. We kind of know what we're doing in that area. Maybe we'll throw some rocks down there too to kind of sell the idea even further. We're going to grab another tree that, bump that up a smidge, and we're going to put it a layer beneath these other ones. So it's going to look like the extension of one tree. The reason that I'm doing that is when we get our skeleton, I can have it laying on top of one tree, but be underneath the other one, so it'll look okay. So let's see which skeleton. Actually, let's do this one. And let's dial it back. 30 might be a little too small. No, it's fine. So we're going to say that it was like up a branch higher, and then it fell onto the boughs of this tree. And if the players find it, it can be their hint that something was happening over here. All right. We're going to do, before we get to the wisp, I'm going to do a little bit of upkeep on the area around here because we've got all this extra map up here that we don't really need anymore. You know, the fun thing about the Kaltori stuff being this close to the fighting ring map is the people who are trapped could see the Kaltori and wonder what that is and then come back here later. All right, let's do our mask tool, and we're going to do a little bit of adding. Didn't like how smooth some of that was. I still don't. Let's change it to that style. I think that we're okay with those. What would we do up here? I know that we grabbed the cliffs and threw them underneath everything. I think maybe all we did was kind of get like a brown coloring around those things. So let's just keep going with those sorts of things. We've got the cliffs. Don't even have to go too crazy about them. Let's see. We've got 30. There's 30 all around, so there wasn't anything too crazy. You know what, though? It was 30 back when it was one map, so it might need to be 60 now. We'll be able to do a test real quick and figure that out. Which one is the one? I just don't know. All right, it's okay. I'm pretty happy with 60. I think that that's the right call and the right size. So we're gonna do something like that, and if we need to, we can add more stuff over here. There we go. So once we get all this figured out, that's when we can get rid of the other parts of this map. Because I don't think that there's anything we really need from one above. I do think that it's probable that we're going to be done with what we need to be done for the first part of this map, and then we might head back over to the Riders of the Ring ceremony map that we were looking at before. Because we did upload all of those stamps. I'm pretty comfortable with the way they look and everything now. Let's see. Switch you up there a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was trying to do. I feel like we've seen that one too much, so let's go and do this one. Yeah, some of this is very ugly and is going to need to be cleaned up, but I don't even think that we need to do that. You okay, Zelda? You all right, Poochie Pie? That one. Let's do this one. It's been a little while since we did that one. Yeah, we don't need the existing map up there to do this kind of cleanup work. And I mean, you could very well do like the path tool for this, the line tool that they introduced recently, but I think I actually prefer the old school style when you're doing these. They just flow better. Don't have to worry about that being nice and clean because it's going to be hidden anyway. What you thinking, Zelda? What's your thought process? Super duper panting. Poor Poochie Doo. Let's do the big ones. didn't like that one. Let's do this one instead. Almost there. Oops. Under if I can, and we're at the 5th layer now, so I can't do anything too crazy. Hopefully we won't need to. Very specifically keeping those out far. That, and let's see what we got here. Got all these cliffs. I don't have to worry about them being anywhere else. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to throw them into the background layer. You know what, though? I do realize that I'm missing these ones up here. I want to make sure that I have all of them at the same time, so that they keep to the same layer. That should be all of them. I think we want to throw them to the background. Yep. Perfect. And then what we got to do is on the background layer, get some of this green in there, and it's up at the 50. See how that looks. Might have to do another pass, but that's perfectly okay by me. Maybe we'll do like another 20% after this. I definitely see a couple of places that we need to put a little bit more work in, but it's a-okay. All right, let's see. Can we do 50, or is that too much? It's actually okay. You know what? Maybe it is a little too much. Let's do 33. Let's see if that one's a nice one. Yeah, 33 is not bad. You all right, Zelda? You okay? You don't have a place to hide? I just realized that we have a chunk of ugly up there. I have to figure out what to do with that. All right, we're going to save, and I'm going to real quick give Zelda a place to run to. Zelda, you want to go into your hidey hole? Right. A little bit of rain too. Lazy. Everybody happy now. Not really, but they should be. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is start to clean some of this up a little bit. We know that we don't need that guy anymore. And we can pretty much get rid of, oh, you know what we need? Let's do this. Let's subtract That silliness right there, because we don't need that. Just in case. We can take a look at that real quick. Okay, so that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't a previous little bit of land that I put in there, because that would serve us no good. Let's see. So let's get rid of some of this stuff because we don't need all of it. Try and keep some of the plant stuff in here so that we can use that, but I don't need any of the architectural stuff. Let's get rid of the flowers. It was cool for that map, but I don't really want it in the one that we're about to go to. We'll see. We'll have some bushes. Let's get rid of these. Don't need that tree. And get rid of these fences up here. Oh, those ones are background layers, so I don't have to do anything to those. Okay, and let's move these rocks down, just in case I decide to use them. I have a feeling we're going to use some other ones instead. But let's move these clumps of plants down here as well, and we'll figure out what to do with them later. I think that's everything. All right, so now what we can do is resize the map. I think right about there, maybe a little higher. So 40 by 20, and I think we're good. We're going to confirm that. We're not going to get rid of the stamps just in case. It shouldn't cause too much of an issue because we've already got the stuff down here. Excuse me. Okay, and then it's going to bring up the map, and we should be able to save it. My poor dumb computer. Poor dumb, slow computer. While it's loading, we can get rid of some of the Kalatories that we don't need. There we go. And let's do a save. I'm going to call it a clone just in case. And we'll call it Jungle Creatures. You know what? I just realized we ought to be showing off some of our sponsors.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Stitching threads of darkness and light into one great story, Liam Lombard makes a beautiful tapestry of his tale, The Calling, the first book in the Faram's Mysteries series. A wonderful debut, this book presents well on all fronts, whether you're looking for great frenetic action sequences or cooler, introspective moments with rich detail and attractive prose. It all takes place in a captivating land which is falling to rot and ruin, making for an interesting backdrop that's unlike what many have experienced. Held up by a pair of catching characters, there is a lot to appreciate in Lombard's first release. If that has caught your attention, be sure to check out our upcoming promotion for Liam Lombard's book, The Calling, at Tellest.com. Take elements of a treasure hunting road trip, foreboding dark magic, and swashbuckling adventures on the high seas, and you've got a recipe for David Smith's debut historical fantasy, Raise the Flag. With prose that will immerse readers and an alternate history of pirate escapades ripe for exploring, this book is captivating throughout. A great cast of characters and enjoyable settings round out the components necessary to make this an addicting read. And though it's presented as a standalone adventure, there are enough ways forward to create a sprawling world of additional pirate tales. If that has piqued your interest, don't wait. Check out our promotion for David Smith's entertaining story, Raise the Flag, on Tellest today.
Alright, so we're back yet again. Let's do a real quick peek at the stuff that we have and clean up where we need to. I don't think we need to do anything there. Let's go to the mask tool though, because that's where we're going to have to make these adjustments. Just do a tiny bit there. We're really looking for spots where like the stone would be like here. I feel like we need to touch that up a little bit here. Over here so far is fine. We could do a smidge there. And a little bit here. Here you can see like a little bit of the water covering where the stone is beneath. And maybe a tiny bit there and there. Alright, that should be good enough now. And let's go into our colors. Kind of want a darker brown, I think. Like that. And then let's do like a 45. And this is going to have to be on the foreground layer, and we're going to dial it back a lot. So we want to try and make sure that we're only getting the edges. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Is that Zelda or Luna? Sometimes Rihanna gets in the zone. This is one of those times. So there are those kind of like mask elements that you can sometimes see, and it has like a outliney look, and we didn't like that for the jungle area that we're working on, so we kind of make our own, so it doesn't look like it's just the edge of this cliff terminating into nothing. This kind of gives it like almost like a gradient feel. So bring it up to there, and then let's do one more pass actually. And we're going to bring the opacity down to maybe 33%, but we're going to bring the brush up. So it'll be, again, kind of like blending going into the edge of this area. And because it has that blending feel to it, it doesn't feel so abrupt. And we've got all these stamps that we brought over. So let's try and figure out some fun places for these things to go. Let's do there and there. A sprig guy here. Can't unfortunately go off the map like that because we don't see it on the map one higher. So let's do something over here. Luna is losing her mind. Those look so similar, I'm going to actually delete them here. Because we don't have like a bunch of stuff all over the place. We only have this one side that the water's on. That one was too tall, so I'm going to assume that this one's too tall as well. But it sure is. Are you okay, Luna? She got her feet up all in the air and everything. Let's delete that too. I don't have to go overboard with this stuff. Okay, that's it as far as those stamps go. Let's put some stones over here. Woof! I don't think the saturation is going to change too much with these guys, so we don't have to go too crazy there. Let's say that that's it for now for this map. You know what? We're getting pretty close to the end of the session, so instead of going crazy, let's go over to our show closing screen, perhaps. All right, we should have the vocals still able to be heard here. You will probably see a little black spot on top of the YouTube video, but that's okay. So folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start because it will lead you to our other projects. We have 2 premium websites that you should be visiting. Patreon.com/Tellest will be a place that you can go for digital versions of these maps, and they also have, yes, Chalky Milk. They also have art posts on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the map posts are really at this point kind of like the driving force of that channel. We have something like 95 maps or so now, including like certain maps that are variant floors of other maps and things like that. It's pretty cool. Tellest.etsy.com is the second premium site that you can go to. That's where you can find physical versions of our maps in addition to bookmarks, stickers, posters, and Rihanna's Weird Witch Wands. And you can find more of those on TikTok.com/@WeirdWitchWands. Our other TikTok has been blowing up lately because Luna got really, really famous. We've got a 6 million viewed video that you can check out on TikTok.com/@TalesOfTellest. And Rihanna's trying to make sure that she's putting more stuff up there daily. And then the last 2 places that I'll bring your attention to are YouTube.com/@WorldOfTellest, where you can check out our videos after they pass the date that Twitch will purge them from the system. But Twitch.tv/ThatTellestGuy is the only place to see us live, chat with us, tell me to drink more water than I can possibly drink at one time, and join us for our Quantum Quest live games. Again, the next one of those is scheduled for this Thursday, July 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. You should definitely come by and check that out. If you hang out with us enough, you could even queue up to be part of a future game. So yeah, definitely check that out. And that'll wrap us up for today. And I miss you.